Oh hello, I didn't see you there. I was busy having pixels burn into my retinas. I love virtual reality. If given the choice, I would live in VR. However, I have to go to work sometimes, so why not make a video about VR so I can be in VR at work too. In traditional 2D video, you're basically looking through a window and watching a story unfold as you're taken through what the director wants you to see. However, in VR there is no window, and you're standing where the story takes place as the director desperately tries to get you to look in any direction. Journey with me as we look through 3 different VR films that I think are just swell. And if you don't have the time, that's alright, I'll just throw my thoughts into the black void that is the internet anyway. Let's talk about 3 of my favorite VR films as I show captured footage that when shown on a 2D screen really doesn't give the content the justice it deserves. A VR story that always stands out to me the most is Pearl, by Google Spotlight Stories. Pearl is a coming-of-age story that focuses on the relationship between a girl and her father. This short film relies on lots of cuts in order to show an extended period of time. However, in VR, you have to be very careful when moving the viewer around as it can break immersion and make you vomit. The way Pearl gets away with so many cuts is the entire short film takes place in a car and you, the viewer, are sitting in the passenger seat. Pearl is a film that wouldn't have nearly the same level of impact if it was shown on a 2D screen, as it feels so much more personal because you're actually sitting in the car with the 2 characters and experiencing the events that unfold with them. Pearl is also available as a 360 video that you can watch on your phone. Don't do that. Watch it on a VR headset, as the intimacy that VR delivers creates a far more emotional experience. Oculus's Story Studio is the team behind the fantastic Emmy-winning short Henry. It is revolting how cute Henry is, and I strongly recommend checking it out. But I won't be talking about Henry today, and instead I'm talking about the studio's final film, Dear Angelica. This experience is unique, in that you're hearing the thoughts and feelings of a woman talking about her late mother, as her thoughts and feelings are painted around you. And the scenes are quite literally painted all around you, which creates for an incredible experience that only VR can offer. You follow brushstrokes as you see different memories and thoughts formed around you, and it's actually an incredibly effective way of telling her story. I found myself walking in circles as I tried to take everything in, and as each memory was brought to a climax, you'd be thrown back into a huge empty space, with a frail mother appearing more and more distant as the experience went on. This one stuck with me for a while, and I still find myself revisiting it after I've had too many beers and I'm feeling overly emotional. The last VR film I'd like to talk about is Allumette, and it's inspired by Hans Andersen's The Little Girl with the Matches. Why you'd want to see that story in VR is absolutely beyond me. Allumette is sort of set up like a stage, like you're in a theatre. It was interesting being able to lean in and look at different characters and events, or taking a few steps back to get a wider view of the events taking place. There was one scene in Allumette where the main character was sitting down, then a gust of wind blew over her matchbox and her matches spilled out all over the place, and I found myself following one particular match and leaning in as it was about to fall over the ledge, then taking a step back after the character saved it to see if all the other matches were okay. This requires heavy participation, but the end result is an unforgettable experience because I felt like I was really there with her. Allumette often uses audio to guide the user through the scene. I know when to look at one character because I'll hear them talking, and then as I gesture to another character, I find myself looking over to see the other's reaction. Out of all the VR films I've experienced, this one was easily my favourite, as it created such a powerful story thanks to how involved VR is. I also tried watching the animation Disney made in 2006 that was inspired by the same story, and successfully I held back my tears for that one. However, Allumette forced me to drench my headset in sadness. With the way I'm just gushing about VR, it may sound like I'm claiming that standard 2D video will no longer have a place in the future, but 2D video isn't going anywhere because it still holds many advantages over VR. As powerful as VR storytelling can be, it can also be exhausting because of how much it demands of its viewers. All the VR films I've talked about are less than 20 minutes long, because any more than that you start to feel fatigue, which you just don't get in standard 2D video. VR lets you be part of the story, which is incredible, but sometimes I just want to sit down and watch a story unfold through a window. VR is still in its infancy, but now that headsets are becoming more affordable and widely available, I can't wait to see what the future holds for this wonderful medium. I'll see you next time when I need another excuse to play around with VR on company time. I'll see you next time.